The Fog is a 1980 horror film directed and co-written by John Carpenter, starring Adrienne Barbeau, Jamie Lee Curtis, Hal Holbrook, and others. Let's go with "and others," which, wow, it is a true sign of John Carpenter that, you can have a fog machine, a light, kind of very tense electronic music, and you can make a horror movie out of that. It sounds like he actually had to do reshoots to kind of amp it up more, but add in kind of gore and things like that because he kind of raised expectations with his movie just before this, Halloween. It is pretty minor in the John Carpenter realm of things, but it's efficiently told. I Because I watch it on TCM and I kind of happened to catch it just at the beginning. I missed the prologue that he apparently put it at the beginning with John Houseman telling spooky campfire stories to children. But it goes right into them Jamie Lee Curtis on the road and getting picked up uh, as a hitchhiker. Beautiful young woman hitchhiking to Vancouver to sell her the pictures that she's drawing for $5 a piece. We hear all about this because the night after she's in bed with the guy chatting with him. Um, yeah, it's like it's actually notable if like wow, these early horror movie just John Carpenter is just like okay, we're establishing kind of all the characters of these people. This truly is one of these sins of the fathers kind of stories because we find out that this particular town, its founders, ended up taking the money of these people who wanted to set up a leper colony and killing them all, taking their gold and killing them all, and they are cursed. And it's 100 years later, and the fog's coming in with with these zombie lepers with fish hooks and on on a ship, the Dane, which is just like yeah, it's fun. It really is one of these movies where you think, fuck. I mean, John Carpenter is like a really great director, but his score is just adds immeasurably to the thing. And apparently, this is one of these scores that he recut it to how the movie sort of ended up, which yeah, that was the right call because the music really helps carry a lot of this forward. I think about Steven Spielberg with John Williams and how that really kind of carries along his like Indiana Jones movies and stuff like that, or Lucas's Star Wars movies. The same thing can very much be said for John Carpenter doing the same kind of solid work for his electronica scores for his horror movies. They really help create the atmosphere and the tone and the foreboding, because there's a scene early on where Janet Leigh, who's also stars in this movie, mother of Jamie Lee Curtis, she and her assistant drive up to this church, which would be kind of a quotidian scene, and you can see that in a lot of horror movies where it's just like, okay, we're just watching these people drive up to the thing. But John Carpenter puts this kind of weirdly kind of creepy electronic music underneath it, and it kind of it just turns the screw just a little bit, and that's what he does throughout the whole film. Um, the kind of the scene of Hal Holbrook and the shining cross of gold. It's like, okay, this may not make any sense, but it's like, wow, it's just like, oh, the striking imagery, which definitely, I guess it connects on some kind of an emotional level, even when you're thinking, it's like, okay, that's a fog machine, that's some guy in a mummy, in mummy wrapping, with a gaffing hook, and it's like it's not actually that particularly of a gory of a movie. I don't think there's like much blood that you actually see, but very effective. A good thing to watch on Halloween, which it is at the moment. All right, I've been Jay. More videos later.